Let the games begin!
Let the games begin!
Happy Friday, guys. No, Monday or Tuesday. Happy Monday or Tuesday.
Welcome back to the retainer.
To the retainer. Welcome back to your retainer.
Welcome back to
You
the
don't know what it's
relatable
called. You
and
don't know what it's
obtainable.
called.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
I don't even know what the fuck
Said
this shit's
R&R.
called. Relax and relax. What is it? Relax and what does R&R usually stand for? Little restoration
Yeah,
or
relax and
restoration?
Or relax and
Relax.
rejuvenate.
Something. What does R&R fucking stand for? Okay, anyway. Why did I go there? I don't know. My brain just needed it, I guess.
R&O. Relatable and Obtainable podcast.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
I'm gonna drink this coffee so fast.
This is
This is
a podcast where we talk about everything relationships
What's wrong?
in a real way,
In a true way.
in a true way.
What are we gonna say?
We're just so captivating.
It's early. Like, I'm not drinking my whiskey or wine. I'm just having coffee.
You
And
know,
I'm just drinking it really fast.
Really fast. Like, and look at the cup. It's so fucked up because you guys, I could never in my life be a waitress because the food would never make it to the table. The drinks would never make it to the table. Everything would spill everywhere. Like, I honestly don't know how people walk with beverages and not spill it everywhere.
Did I try? I think I might have tried to be a waiter.
You would have made an excellent bartender.
I wouldn't.
No, you would. What about when you were acting? Could you remember lines?
Hell yeah.
So you could do it.
Yeah, but I wasn't acting on dates. Or, I wasn't.
I know, but as a bartender, you would have. I imagine that you would have gone into a role, and you would have been somebody, a character, and you would have been able to remember. And I just feel like because you're a personality, you like to drink, especially once you get like a drink or two in you.
You would
have regulars, you would have friends.
Can you imagine me drinking, me seeing a girl that I like, and me and that girl hitting it off? I would quit at that moment. I'd be like, hey guys, sorry, dude, I have something better to do. I can't. I have to take my chances. That would be me at a bar. If I was young, that's what would have happened. If I would have hit it off with a girl and I would have been like, damn, I would have been like, guys, I gotta quit. Sorry, dude, I'm gonna go handle some business. Obviously nowadays I wouldn't be a bartender, but no, my younger days, it'd be a mess. I would quit for no reason. I would quit if I had to go to Santa Barbara for Halloween.
I wonder if I saw you as my bartender.
No, you wouldn't like me. No, I would have a different energy.
Carlos and I talked about this in the beginning of our relationship. In the beginning of our relationship, we talked about if we had because if you guys are ride or die for us, you probably already know our story. But for those of us that are new, we met on a dating app
Called Bumble.
And neither of us really took the app seriously, but I was also the type of person where if a guy hit on me in public, like a public place, like a bar or something like that, it's never worked once.
Yeah.
Never once. I don't care how fucking charming you are. I'm not, that's just not the way that I operate. It's very hard for me to be like, oh, even if you're attractive, I'd be immediately, I feel like I'd be immediately put off just because, I don't know, because I guess I would just immediately imagine you doing that to 100 girls, and then I'd just be like, ugh, this gross, and I don't know, I don't like it. I don't know, it's never once worked, never. I've never ever been in a relationship or dated somebody who hit on me in a public place. But in the beginning,
Wow, I got some AC on.
at the gym.
You said you met your ex-boyfriend at the gym.
No, I didn't.
You said you went to the same gym and found you on Facebook.
No, that's not what I said. I said there was a stalker who did that.
I thought you said you ended up dating the guy.
No, I've never dated a guy that I met at the gym. You're mixing.
Stories.
No, you have a bad memory. I know my life. I said that there's a guy who was obsessed with me, who met me at the gym, and then he found me later on Facebook, or maybe he already knew. This is back in Facebook days.
Oh, you didn't start dating him?
I did not date him.
Oh, I could have sworn you said it. That's how your ex.
No, I didn't meet my ex at the gym. What happened was I went to an outing that had a group of people. He was at that outing, and then later he found me. He didn't approach me on the outing.
Oh.
He later found me on Instagram, actually, and this was before DMs existed on Instagram, and he put in a comment, he like, because there was no DMs back then, so he like in a comment said, oh, I think you were at this thing, blah, 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 and then we exchanged like, I think at the time, I think WhatsApp wasn't even a thing back then either.
I think it was.
Well, I don't know. Well, I didn't use it. There was other apps like Voxer. There was other ones where it was like basically like WhatsApp where you can communicate, but you didn't have to like give someone your phone number. Or I don't know.
Voxer was.
Can you imagine? Like this was so long ago. But anyway, so that was that. But that was not the point of the story, is to go into past relationships. My point of the story was that we talked about this in the beginning of our relationship, and Carlos said, no, if I saw you, I asked him, I was like, do you think if like you saw me out, you would like come up to me? Because he has so many stories, you guys. He has so many stories of just like him pulling and whatnot.
Yeah, we don't call him that nowadays. It's
You're gonna have to beep that.
2020,
you know, no, but he has a lot of stories, and so I was like, do you think you would have talked to me if you saw me out? Like, do you think you would have thought like, oh? And you said yeah.
You said where though?
Yeah, but you said, oh, if we were at a bar, you said no, definitely I would have. I would have saw you and I would have talked to you, and you were so confident in the fact that like I would have like talked to you and I would have been so like entertained and had so much fun that you would have got my number.
I think so. I think back in the day for sure, bro. I don't know how. I had this, I don't know. I think you just lose your ability. I just was bold. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I did fail, but I also never did fail at the same time. It was weird. They always came around at some point of the night. You know, it was like a weird thing.
In an alternate universe, this scenario probably has happened with us, and I wonder how it went.
Yeah, maybe at a club. Well, you didn't even go to a club.
Yeah, I didn't do clubs really.
I was there.
I've been to clubs, but I'm not like a clubber. I never really did that stuff. I never really went to bars either. That was like a very like seldom thing. But if I had, I don't think anybody could have like got me to be like, oh.
Well, the thing is also you gotta learn how to read a girl. Like obviously, you know, like if you're gonna go for the number, you kind of have to gauge, right?
I would engage with you.
No,
like
a guy has to gauge. You can't just be like, I'm gonna go get her number. That should be the only one thing, unless you have a good solid plan. But it always sounds like Hasbulla's laugh.
I know.
I feel like you have to have a plan always, guys. If you like, I feel like that's what they need to do. Like, also know where you're at. Use it towards your advantage.
Yeah, I wonder what that's about. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I've never been like, oh, this is cool. Well, maybe it's just never been the right person to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, no?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I feel like, you know what's interesting is, you tell me what you think about this. So as a woman, I feel like...
I hate it. I'm just kidding.
Do you hate being a woman?
I hate it.
No, as a woman, I think like most girls can relate that, I mean, from the time you're like 12, you're just getting male attention constantly. And
it's sad.
I mean, yeah, when you're that young, it is sad. And you do start to become scared. I mean, for me, it's like when I was a young person, I walked everywhere, and then I would start to get massive anxiety. Because you'd be at a stop sign and guys would be disgusting. They'd be like, you know, honking or following you or something like that. And I feel like this happens to majority of girls. Like, but anyway, from a young age, okay? So from a young age, you're getting male attention and men will try to like hit on you or whatever. Yeah. Then you get to a point where you're of like dating age and like you want to like maybe find a boyfriend or something like that. And so like I've mentioned, it's never worked for me for like somebody to just randomly come up to me. And now if I'm like at a friend's function and like they're kind of already vetted in a way if they're at that function. Like, I might be more willing to talk to you. But if you're just, like, a random person from the street that's like, hey, you're so pretty, or, like, something like that, or they try to get a conversation going, that's never worked. But the thing I wanted to mention, or, like, ask you your opinion, is I feel like I got hit on the most when I was at my worst states of life. Like, at the gym, like sweating, looking like complete fucking shit.
Oh, because guys think that's when you could get, I think.
Or when I'm like no makeup at the grocery store, or I'm like studying at like a coffee shop and I'm like in sweats and I'm like, I look terrible.
Dang, your prison outfit? They probably want
Like
to take you back to jail.
Yeah, my prison outfits, like, no, but I mean, like, I feel like that's when you get hit on hardcore.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was talking about it with, like, some girlfriends, and I think it is, like, you're just more, like, attainable if you look like shit or something.
Yeah, I think so. I think you guys see the potential.
You gotta see the potential.
And they're probably just like, oh, dude, like, yeah, she looks
Is there
pretty
any
here,
part of you that felt that as a guy is like, it's like, she's pretty, but she's not like a 10, so I'm definitely gonna go for it?
No, because
like I know I can get it.
No, because I always went for the thing I thought I couldn't get. So I never, like, I don't know. I was always like, I was ready for rejection.
So then
it was
from
weird.
your
For me, it was
perspective-
very strange. I was
So
just
then
like,
from your perspective, what is that? Like, what is that like, I feel like there's probably girls that could definitely vouch for me in this, is that
Yeah,
when
for
you're
sure.
kind of at your worst is when you get hit on the most. And like, maybe in their mind, they're worst. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if guys view it that way.
That's
But
what I'm saying,
I'm
that's
talking
not
no
hard.
makeup. You're like, whatever. You're in an everyday situation, walking down the street, like, whatever. I feel like when you're like kind of feeling your best, or like you really put effort into looking good, I feel like guys don't.
maybe they know the energy. Oh, damn, this girl's independent. She has her shit together. She has her Honda Accord.
I'm still independent. I'm still independent. Have my shit together when I'm like no makeup, having freaking.
No, but I think I don't know. Maybe guys do feel more comfortable like approaching because of that reason. They're like, oh, well, she's very low frequency right now. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if a guy will approach you if he didn't think you were attractive, if you were not, and regardless of how you look. So I feel like maybe to you, yeah, you felt that way, but maybe some guys were like, dude, she was hot. So they saw the beauty within you or outside of you. So yeah, I think so. I mean.
But what happens when I'm like fully ready and like I look what I perceive as I look my best, and then guys don't approach me?
They're
What's
probably
happening
scared. They're probably terrified.
So then they get more scared. So there's the thing.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm
why.
saying.
So
That's
so
why-
it is
'cause-
like a thing of like, if she looks like this,
because
she's
they might
more
get rejected.
approachable.
Yeah, they might get rejected.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I was saying. Like, you always have to go get rejected, man. That's the fun part.
This
dude.
is the
Rejection's
thing-
fun.
This is the thing for guys, is like why I feel like, you know, in life, when it comes to business and it comes to certain things, like you guys have a leg up because you're so driven by sex and like the pursuit of it, that you learn from an early age how to deal with rejection.
Yeah, it was fun, dude. Rejection is fun. It's a fun game.
Well, the thing is that when I feel like girls, we're not put in those situations as often. And so I think in some ways, like we're just not as equipped in a cultural sense from a young age to deal with rejection. And so I think sometimes that might work against us, or it might take us a little bit longer for some of us to get to a certain place.
Yeah.
Like if we want to be really successful in business, or we want to, you know, and obviously there's plenty of women that are, but I know for me, rejection is hard to deal with, and I wonder if it's because I just haven't had to deal with it as
Probably,
much.
yeah, a lot of
You know,
girls.
because
That's
it's
why they
not.
get so
I never really
Have
put
you ever?
myself.
That's why girls. If
I
a
never
guy.
really put myself in those situations, right? Like I didn't have to. It's not that I'm saying I don't get rejected. I just never even put myself in a situation where I could get rejected. So like, I feel like now, even as an adult, like now it's something where I think it hits me different than it hits you. If someone says no to me, or if I get, like it's just kind of like, oh well, I must not be worth shit, and now I just have to give up, and you're just like, whatever. I mean, even though you said you never got rejected.
No, I never said I never got rejected. I said I always went. I didn't mind. I didn't care. Like I was always like, well, whatever, dude. Like if I expected to get rejected, I just did it because I was like, let's just go. Like what am I? I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, let's just do it. I have a lot of friends that can vouch for me for sure. They're just like, bro, he'll go. I would go up to anyone. It wasn't like a thing. And then if I wasn't like. I already knew. I didn't have expectations of like I'm gonna bag this person. I got rejected a lot of times, and for me it was just like it was. I was like, oh damn, alright, bro. I guess. I mean, I tried.
You're so cute.
But what I'm saying
You're
is,
so handsome.
what I'm saying is,
So charming.
yeah, a girl,
You're so
a girl getting rejected is probably the scariest thing ever. They'll want to kill you. In general, I feel like that's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I think so, huh? Like, I think girls don't know how to handle it. You know, I think that's why sometimes, like, if a guy wants to kind of like puppeteer, be the puppeteer to like a girl, it's like it's negging or like is rejecting her because then they like try harder in a way. It's like what? Like, because they're so not used to getting rejected that it's like which is happening. Terrible. It's terrible that that's sad. How some people choose to go about.
It's not sad, so I don't want to say that, dude. It's whatever. It is
well,
what it is. No one feels good being rejected.
It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It is a way of learning a lesson, I think. But I have seen that multiple times with girls, like girls that I've been friends with, and the way that like when a guy breaks up with them or a guy rejects them in a way, how it's like, no. Like, it's not ending this way. Yeah. It's not ending this way. It's like this never-ending, like pursuit. In fact, there's a girlfriend that I used to have, and after many, many years, it worked out for her of this, like, relentless, endless pursuit. Like,
that's insane.
Like,
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm like, bro, I do not have that in me. I feel like if somebody said, hey, you're not good enough for me, I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna go fucking find someone else who does think I'm good enough for me. Like, I can't imagine somebody saying that and me being like, okay, I guess I can't say that. There's definitely been different versions of that where I did feel like, I just have to keep being better and better and better and better. Instead of looking at it like, well, maybe that person's just fucked up.
Yeah. Who knows, man? The world is your oyster. So today we're going to be talking about rejection.
How to deal with rejection.
I think it's fun, man. Rejection is fun. I think it builds tough skin. I think if you learn to accept it at a young age and you go for more and don't have expectations, it's fun. I feel like a lot of my friends we were always getting rejected.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I feel like we're always like doing, but we also. But it's the thing about this is like if you're gonna get rejected by the hottest chick. Because there is sometimes where you do get rejected by a girl, you just want to dance, and then they're like, "Excuse me, no," and you're like, "Come on, bro."
You're like, I know.
There's a level of rejection that you accept, and then there's also like that one hurts. I feel like.
Is that the type of energy?
That's why you dance.
Is that the type of energy where the guy hits on you and you're like, "No, thank you," and they go, "You ugly anyway."
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, if I was ugly, why'd you hit on me in the first place? Like, I didn't ask for this. You're not supposed to
ever say that, but no, there's sometimes where you just
but you ugly anyway.
No, there's sometimes, I think that was my issue. I think that's the reason why I went for the hottest girl. Because I realized that if I was kind of like, more confident or like, I could bag this girl up. And I got rejected, then it would hurt. So I think if you go up to like the hottest chick where you're like, bro, I have no chance. But you actually do it, and you get rejected, you're like, all right, cool. Whatever, she's banging, no one else is going up to her, and that's it. And it ends. But I feel like when you're too overconfident and you're like, this is gonna be a breeze, then that's when you're like, God, I feel like that's when your level of confidence just goes down.
But
so I think keep it up.
The whole thing is like the pursuit of sex, right? Like the whole thing is that.
It can be, but for me it was more. I mean,
not just sex, but it's still revolving around sex because. The only reason that women provide status for men most of the time is because other guys be like, you get to have sex with that girl, right? Like that's why. For example, if you're with the hottest girl, like you're like with the hottest supermodel, why does that person bring you status as a man? It's because she's so hot and other men covet her, right? They only covet her because they think about having sex with her.
Yeah.
There's only one reason, right? Like, it's not like they're like, she's a supermodel and she's a Nobel Peace Prize winning, like whatever. Nobel it's Peace you know what I'm saying? Peace Prize winning. It's not like that. It's not like people are like, oh my God, she's accomplished so much in life. You're such a lucky man. It's because like, she's hot or like she's a good woman or whatever. You know what I mean? But they don't even know that. So it's like there's a reason why other guys like look to certain men and be like, oh damn, like that's his girl, or it's all relating back to sex. So like from a young age, you're driven by sex and you're driven by status, and women bring you certain status because of sex, right? Or no?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's true.
So wait, what was the point of that?
Just keep your standards high, but have
No,
no
wait.
expectations.
There was the whole point of it.
Keep your standards high, but have no expectations, honestly. And and if you fail, you're like, well, my standards are very high, and I wasn't expecting it. Because there's been a lot of times where sometimes it works,
Yeah. Actually, a lot of the stories he's told me, I'm like in shock because I'm just such a different girl. Like, I'm not different from other girls, but I'm different in ways of like, I can't believe some of the stories you tell me about girls. Like, I'm just not that type of girl. Like, I'm just like, holy crap, are you serious? In terms of like the behavior, the things that like, I don't know. I'm just like.
No, girls are as equally crazy as guys. For
yeah.
sure, dude.
I'm just like, bro.
And they're not all bad stuff.
I have never, no, not all that, but I'm still like, it's like funny that's like, you have so many of these stories, and I'm just like, it's funny to see how that shaped your view of women. When it's like, for me, I'm very different, and then also the people that I've surrounded myself with in terms of women are different. Literally, dude, I don't want to say too much because I don't know who watches this shit, and I don't want to call out certain people. But like, even in the beginning of our relationship, there was a certain situation that happened where, I guess we just talked about how girls can be crazy, but this was a different level. Like, beginning of our relationship, we had just decided to be exclusive with each other. You went on a trip, and this girl kind of like hit on you, and then you denied her.
Okay. Listen, let me tell this story because it was.
But this is
it was
the
a
type of
situation
stuff-
where like I think there was a.
This is the type
Okay,
of
there
thing
was
that
the
makes
only-
my mind go like.
I think that we were more mature, older, and I think people start to look for certain things when they're older, right? Like, I want to have a relationship, something like that. I don't know. So
You're telling the story different now that you're thinking certain people will watch it. I see.
I'm trying to convey. I'm gonna get to the message. I'm just saying maybe that's why they thought that it was going like something could have happened. But at that time, I had found Jew, and I said Jew, and I said, yeah, I'm gonna be a clean slate. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna be a dog. Nothing. What happens there is not going to stay there. So I was like, it's good. I was going to be like, I'm chill. I was like, I'm not going to start off this relationship like this because it's not fair to me or you. So that's what happened. I was like, all right, I'm going to be a good boy. And when we finally got over there, I think there was a lot of hype around like, what could happen between us. And I was like, there's nothing going to happen. I knew. And then there came a point where she hit on me. And I said, no, I can't. I'm not going to do anything. I was like, because I'm talking to someone. I sound like my friend Jordan. I'm talking to someone. Is it official? What? Yeah, it was official. Yeah.
Well, we
weren't
calling each other like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, so
or
that's
whatever
what I
you
was
want
just
to say. But we did agree that we weren't gonna like
see each other. Yeah.
See other people.
See other people. Yeah. So that's why I was just like, yeah, no, dude, I can't. It's a girlfriend. No, it's not my girlfriend, but it's someone I want to, keep a clean slate with. Because I just didn't want to lie, or I just didn't want that. I didn't want to hold that.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I was like, no, it's not enough. And then that's when it was like, kicked into monster truck gear, and I was just like, holy shit, what did what happened? What is gonna happen to me tonight? So I remember just.
And by monster truck gear, it was like basically like the type of commentary would be like, how many guys want to be with me? Like, you'd be lucky. Like,
the only reason why I got a little upset at the situation is because then she like kind of called you out, and I was like, you don't know her, and that's when I was just like, man. And then
she's like, I'm prettier than her.
But I was just like, dude, come on, like, yeah, that's not my girl, but I was like, also like, I told you, like, respect, like the same way I was like, why if it was the other way around and I was doing that to her, I feel like people would probably be very upset.
Oh yeah,
So I'm just
absolutely.
like, come on, bro.
Like, can you imagine the way society, the way the culture would have attacked Carlos if he was talking to a woman that way?
Yeah,
like,
it's just like,
you'd,
damn.
yeah, like, you'd be lucky. Like, I'm like, you know how many women want me? That girl or that guy that you're with so much hotter than him.
No, yeah, and
like,
I just thought that level of, I was like, dude, nah. And then, I didn't even, yeah, and then I was like, I'm just gonna stop drinking because I was like, I don't want to be involved. You know, I was like, I don't want to get drunk and say something dumb and whatever. I was just like, dude, it's whatever.
Wait,
So
even at this is what I'm saying is like, I've never really met somebody like that. Like, I've never been like around girls that would do something like that I know of anyway, that I've witnessed with my own eyes, you know? So I just am like, what? Like, there's somebody that would do that? Because in my mind, if a guy rejected me, like, I would just be like, okay, cool. Like, I might in my own little, like, way, my own little, like, manipulative way be like, oh, maybe I will make him jealous by going with this guy. Or, you know, when I'm younger or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that I would behave perfectly all the time or anything, but, like,
Yeah.
I would never be, like, fucking berating somebody for rejecting me.
yeah, I was like, man, why is this all good? I was just like, just keep me safe, friends.
He called me every night like a sweet little angel baby boy.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I can't do this. I just didn't want it to weigh on my shoulder. I didn't want it to weigh on my mind later on that I did something at the beginning, even though we weren't exclusive.
We were exclusive.
Yeah, but we weren't like, it's like a boyfriend and girlfriend.
You see how he does this, guys?
No, we weren't. Like you just said, we weren't boyfriend and girlfriend.
We weren't, but we were exclusive.
Yeah, okay.
You melted off of my bed in upset over it.
Yeah.
So please.
Yeah, that's the reason why I was like, all right, respect.
He melted off of my bed, being like, I guess we'll just be friends then. And I was like, come back to bed. I was begging you.
She couldn't handle rejection. No, but yeah, guys, keep your standards high, expectations low. Rejection is fun. We all learn from it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's like something that like with business and with like life, you know, I feel like I'm learning more and more. You know, I just feel like I never really put myself in those situations. Like, I think I spent a lot of my youth avoiding it. I think there was probably a lot of stuff where I would just avoid it because maybe I was too afraid of that feeling. So in a way, I feel like, I guess what I'm saying is guys have this burning desire inside of them that they're willing to just put it out. Not all of them.
Not all guys. No, I know a few guys who
have never even experienced rejection because they've never put themselves out there.
I think not to the degree that they want.
But you
I
would
think
agree.
they'll do it to like a degree that they think they could obtain someone, but not to the degree where it's like, I'm hungry for this, like burning desire of going after something I want. That's out of my level, but I'm still gonna go after it.
Well, no matter what, even whether or not you think it's in your level or not, there's still a potential of getting rejected if you're the one that's pursuing it.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, you would agree though that like as a general rule, guys probably have a little more experience with that from a younger age.
Yeah, every guy's gonna get rejected. There's no guy who hasn't. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's part of life, rejection.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Shouts out to my homies who get rejected.
Yeah.
Do it.
Mm-hmm. So I have a question. So when something happens and you feel rejected, it doesn't have to be a woman thing. It could be like business. It could be like family or friends or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
I cry now.
You do?
No. Now I don't know. Let's see. Rejection.
So
it just makes me more hungry. I just say it's not ready for me.
It's not my time right now.
It's not my time. Yeah, and then it's just like let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you play the long game I think when you're going towards something that you know you might get rejected by, it's also smart to play the long game. So it doesn't burn as fast, and also you don't cut ties. Like you don't feel like the bridge has been burned. You're just kind of like, all right, well maybe I'll come. It's like like knocking on someone's door, doing a door sales, and just flipping out. They say no, thank you. And you're like, well, come on, dude. What? Do you
know that I did that?
I'll come back in a couple days.
Oh
if you change
my
your
god!
mind.
You know that did shift my whole life.
Yeah.
You know that when I was like 18 or something, I did that for a living, guys. I went door to door, and it changed my life.
I bet, dude.
Because you do have to learn about rejection real fast and be fine with it, because you get rejected a billion times a day, and you still have to keep going. And it's the only way you get paid. You get paid nothing. You're
you
only
get
on
paid
commission. So if you don't make a sale, you don't get paid. So you could spend hours, days without getting paid. And I feel like that job probably like was a big assistance to me in my life in many ways. Like
anything that has to do with that, yeah, for sure. It's a learning
But it's so funny because like
experience.
going through that and doing that didn't make it necessarily easier to deal with rejection. It just made me more willing to put myself in those situations to get rejected. But it's not like easier. Like I still have the fucking mental breakdowns. Do you know what I'm saying? But like I'm willing to put myself through it.
I think you know how to cope with it as well.
Yeah. Or at least I've learned that I've survived.
Yeah.
I'll survive it. But it still fucking sucks. Man, it still fucking sucks.
Yes.
Like for example, just for example, it's something we do now. Like we pitch a brand, or we're trying to create a business relationship with a brand, and we get rejected. For me, I feel like I go down a real emotional fucking rabbit hole for a little bit.
I used to, but now it's like, bro, okay, let's look at.
He just moves on. Like
you have to be
it,
like, yeah. I think at this game it's like, all right, dude, like, I'll work with you, but it'll be on my terms next time around.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that's just a healthier way of going, because you're not hurting anyone and you're better. You're not hurting yourself. You're just kind of stepping up to the plate, I guess, and being like, all right, maybe there is something that I'm lacking, but it does suck.
Poor Carlos had to deal with me like getting into this. Like he's having to deal with a lot right now in terms of like, in terms of that I'm really green to it, and like let's say let's say roles were reversed and he was getting into like an industry that I was really familiar with, then like, I'm sure he would be looking to me for a lot. But right now it's the opposite. Like I have gotten into this industry that like Carlos is really familiar with, and also just like a mindset that Carlos has been kind of dealing with his whole life, because he always was an entrepreneur. And so the first time, I literally one fucking email, and the person emailed back being like, we're not interested, and I was like, I'm done, this is it, I have nothing, I have nothing to provide this world, I have nothing. And Carlos was like, bro, you sent one email, like relax, it's one, you're gonna get a lot more no's, bro, you better get used to it. And it's so true, like you just have to, it's just so funny how it just doesn't necessarily get easier, but you do realize you have to keep going. It's everything about
nothing's
everything
gonna ever
in life.
be easy, dude. Like I don't care how big you get. I think nothing's gonna get easier.
Everything in life is just about consistency, right? Like if you're gonna be successful at anything, it's just being consistent. Like pushing through the no's, pushing through the parts where you don't feel good enough, pushing through the parts where you feel uneducated in a certain place and that you have to learn more, like pushing through that uncomfortable feeling of not knowing, like all of that. It's like, because I think so many people, that's why certain people aren't like successful, so to speak, in whatever it is that they're pursuing, is just because once things get a little bit uncomfortable, they just stop.
Yeah. You know what does piss me off though with this industry is like, I wrote this brand called Details Wine, a pitch, and I was like, dude, this is let's do this, blah blah blah. It's super aligned, and then they reached back and they were like, yeah, we would love to work with you. We're gonna open up our affiliate program. I was like, bro, I didn't reach out to you to do an affiliate. I was like, we'll use both platforms. We'll create content for you. Like, it's very on brand.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it didn't make me mad, but I was like, bro, come on. Really?
Yeah.
You want me to create this quality content. We don't
do all the work
to
make
have small
sales for
platforms.
you. Yeah.
Like it's not like we're not like, we have a solid following. Like it's not like we're not mega stars, but we work hard for what we are.
But it's not just that.
But it's
like aside from the influence part of what
it's the content
it's
creation,
the
dude.
creation part. I just think like
we want to create crazy content for you for affiliate program.
We were just explaining this to we had a meeting with somebody and we were working on a deal with them, and we were just explaining, like, think about traditional marketing. Think about what you would have to put into it. You would have to, you would likely be hiring a marketing agency, which has a fee.
Yeah.
2, you'd be paying for photographer, models, makeup, hair, studio space, like whatever it is, permits, like all of this stuff would go into that budget, and it's gonna be a hell of a lot more. And think about the amount of eyes they're gonna see that campaign, like, and there's all different types of reasons that you would launch a marketing campaign. Some might be brand awareness, one might be to drive sales, one might be to drive certain customer sign up situation or whatever. Like, you might have different goals, right? I feel like because this space is somewhat new, I mean, it's still early, it's not like we have like decades of experience in this space, but think about this. One photo, let's just say, right?
Yeah.
Has circulated so much that we have reached 14 million unique accounts on one photo, okay? And then think about the time that we put into that, how we set it up, all of those things is like, for a brand to come back and be like, we're not gonna pay you for that.
Okay, well, first off, I think there's 2 ways of like, in this industry, there's 2 ways of like pitching yourself. It's like, 1 for your influence, and 2 as like as a creative director, as a branding agency, right? So I feel like,
for us, even though we have influence, it's more about the creative direction.
Yeah, it's or a combination of both. So I was like kind of hitting them up with like a combination of both, but more like we'll create some sick like. It's not more influence, it's like product placement. Like, try to get those photos that circulate like crazy. Like, it's not going to be a traditional like, hey, go buy this detail. So
to me, the affiliate thing should just be included. Like, you should just get that on top of the fee.
I just feel like if they would have hit me, if I would have pitched them with like, hey, like, I love your wine, I would love to, like, I'm a big fan, which I am. I love Details wine, but and say like, I would love to work with you in any way, a capacity, that'd be great. I feel like that would be like a proper response. But I was like, bro, I pitched you this thing that was like more like branding, and not to, I don't know, not to say that they had to say yes. I just found it funny that I was like, what is, like, wait, what? Did you read?
Yeah, to me, the only appropriate response as far as like
just say no.
Pitching affiliate stuff is like, if the brand reaches out to you and says, I want to gift you this thing and we'll offer you an affiliate.
The only way I work with affiliate, which I do with Proper Cloth, is because I actually I am very interested in building a long-term relationship. Like, I think it's part of my branding at this point. Like.
No, I mean, but still, what I'm saying is there's a value exchange in that where you're 100%. Willing to do that because of whatever.
It shouldn't just
whatever.
be,
The thing about that is there's no obligation.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no obligation to give them a certain deliverable. When you have an obligation to give a deliverable and then they're going to compensate you by giving you an affiliate link, is just such a slap in the face like.
And maybe you guys know how to do affiliate links. Maybe someone's watching, they know, and they could help us. But it's just I don't know.
Because the reason why I don't agree with this is because, like, for example, the one example I gave of like the one single thing making rounds in that way of like, that's how many unique accounts saw it. And then the level of engagement was very high, very high. That didn't happen in a week time frame.
Yeah. Do
you know what I'm saying? And so like, you can't, the affiliate links, I don't know now, I think Instagram may have made it so you could put links in the captions.
In the caption, yeah.
That's new. So in the past, you weren't able to do that. So it's all story based if you're just talking about this one platform, right? So if your main platform is Instagram, for example, and the only way someone can access your link, because you're also doing business with other people, you can't just like put everything into one deal. Yeah. So then that thing still at the end of the day, gave that brand so much brand awareness and probably drove a lot of sales. But if you're dealing, the only way we get paid is if they hit a very specific link, is so unfair. I also think about how I consume. Okay?
Well, yeah, I think
think about it this way. Mm-hmm. Like, I will tell you, influencers have influenced me. But have I I almost have never used their links. And not because I'm purposely trying not to use their link, but because I just don't shop that way. Like it's very hard for me to be that impulsive where I'm gonna buy something instantaneously the minute I see you post about it. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna save it. I'm probably gonna make a screenshot or do something. And then later on, when I'm needing to buy something, I'm looking at that as a reference. So they did influence me, they did drive the sale, but I didn't use their link because their link no longer is available or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it's not a good indication of how successful that influencer was at influencing people. It's like, how many eyes saw that thing? How many people saved it? How many people shared it? That the engagement to me means more than how many people click the link.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
I just think
just because there's a certain time frame.
That's why I think
things still circulate on social media after that time frame has ended. You know, like it took us 3 months for that photo to go crazy, like and it still does. But like that's just an example of the potential that happens over a period of time. And think about when you do a traditional marketing campaign, you're usually not doing something within a 1 week time frame. You're usually running the ads and doing something to get a return from all of the money that you paid for those photographers and shit like that. You didn't tell the photographer, well, we'll give you a piece if it's successful later.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I went on a rant. We could cut this whole thing out. It's fucking unnecessary. But like,
hey.
Sorry, baby, did I hurt you?
But yeah, no, just a little bit of background of our jobs.
Just a little bit of background. Do you want to go on here, baby?
But yeah, no, it's just like, you know, there's ups and downs, ebbs and flows, but it's all good.
We could bleep out the name of that brand too.
No, because maybe they would want to. Maybe they'll understand what I was asking them. I wasn't like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like a dickhead because I'm not like trying to infiltrate them like in a way where I'm like, you have to work. I was just saying. It was just funny because I was just like, it's just funny that to hit me with that, like, oh, we run an affiliate. I'm like, bro, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested.
You know what was funny is I saw, unrelated to what we do and like in brands, on my personal account, like I follow certain people or whatever, and I saw this brand, a smaller brand, you know, post, like I never understood the whole influencing thing or whatever until like with no effort on their part, but somebody had posted something about their brand and they completely sold out everything.
Oh, wow.
They completely sold out. They were like overloaded with, because they're a very small business, you know? So they were completely I think their website crashed.
Wow.
With the amount. And then they were like, I never understood it and now I get it. Like now I understand why brands put attention into this and why these things are important, and like I never even considered that this was a possibility, and it wasn't somebody they paid to do it. It just was like a natural organic thing that happened because they were like, where is this all coming from? They didn't know until later somebody said, oh, because so and so posted. Like they realized, they didn't understand it. I thought about it like the woman that we were talking to the other day is like they're not really tech savvy, or they're not really understanding the power of these platforms. And like I think about someone like her who not even fully understand where all her business is coming from. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. Moving on.
You sure? We're gonna keep going. No, we're done. Stop talking.
We're done with this.
All right, let's go. Move on to the next thing. If you're not following us, go follow us right now. It's at by Carlos Roberto and Twice the Mood.
The fuck? What was that?
It's our ads. This video is sponsored by Carlos Roberto. Twice the Mood didn't have the budget, unfortunately.
Okay, I have something for you. Feel like you were the black sheep in your family?
Undertaker. Listen, being the black sheep is always a gift in disguise.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Because you're willing to do the things that others aren't. You're willing to sacrifice your own comfort, your own level of knowledge, your own Dog, potentially. I'm just
No.
kidding. Look at Whiskey's just staring at me.
I know. She's like, what?
I think it's a blessing. I think it's the hardest part. It's hard. I don't know who says they're black, who labels black sheep. Like I don't know what that, like I don't know who could label it, but I think if you do feel different in some ways, if you do
From the rest of your family or whatever group.
yeah, and you're questioning things that you feel that you feel like other people don't. If you feel like the comfort of other people is somewhere is not aligned with yours, or you don't get, or you're not fascinated by, then you're a black sheep. You know, like it doesn't necessarily.
Well, let's just put it this way. Carlos and I have had many of conversations about, I think in one way or another we felt like that.
Yeah, for sure.
families,
Like when I was in school, when I was in school at a young age, the youngest age I could ever think possible was like, why am I reading? Why am I competing with these people to like to memorize everything? Why is this a competition?
Yeah.
And I remember ever since I started thinking that way, I was like, I'm not going to pay attention in school. I have no interest.
Yeah.
Which is why I got D's and F's.
Yeah.
Shouts out to my D's and F's.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like I feel like if you think that way, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Keep going. Like just explore your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Feel the rain on your skin. And then yeah, you'll be fine. I think but yeah, black sheep. Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've had multiple conversations where I think, you know, we felt like that at some point or another, or still do.
Always.
I mean, like just kind of always. Yeah. Like where it's just like, for me and both of us actually, I just want to make it extremely clear. Like we're both very close with everyone in our family.
Yeah.
We have really close knit families, and we love everybody in our family, and still kind of felt just different from everybody in our family, right? Like in a way, like just different, you know. And now I don't see that as a bad thing at all. When I was little though, it didn't feel good. I felt alone a lot alone because my mind worked different, alone and because I didn't really feel like I fit in, and so I don't know, like alone a lot, like in whatever. And I think in your own way you did too. But again, to make it clear, like we have loving families that we're really close to. So but I saw this thing.
Here, have some coffee. I think that, well, also like, a good thing about being a black sheep is that you also, I think the way I saw the world, I don't know if you guys do or you do, but I saw the world as, I want to have something of value that isn't the same as the other person. Like I want to be able to teach someone something that I've learned. So I think, being close to family, like I knew my brother was good at sports. I knew my sister was super, super smart. And I just took the route of like, let me try to create my own business type stuff. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like that way we could all like kind of come together in some type of way and learn from each other. Mm-hmm. You know? So
well, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. No, well, I saw this and I sent it to Carlos because I was like, oh, it just reminded me, I don't know, it just reminded me of I don't know. It says a cycle breaker is one who grew up without any example of the life they wanted or needed and fought like hell to build that life later. And I was just like, damn, that fucking, he always gets up when I say something profound. Like, I just dropped him with this fucking knowledge, this profound knowledge, and he gets up and fucking walks away.
I just want the mic.
Yeah, and I was like, I think we're cycle breakers. Man. And it's not, again, not to say anything negative about the people in our family. It's not. It's just that there's a different there's a different way of thinking. There's a different mindset. There maybe even is different goals, like different whatever.
I think at a young age, I think we know what we want to do. I feel like the more that we don't listen to ourselves, the more we have other people kind of like try to curate our lives in some type of like dictation form. I feel like dictation form. I don't know. I think I think that's when you change. That's when you kind of separate yourself from like, you know, who you really want to be. But I feel like.
And I did that for a long time. Yeah. I feel like you did less of that in a way. Do you feel like you did anything that was just to kind of make them happy?
Yeah, I did it for about, when I did it, this is what happened. I did it, I went to college, my mom was like, you have to go to college. I had to follow my sister's footsteps essentially, and I didn't. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna do this. And then I finally decided I have to do it, right? Because I was like, I feel like a loser. Like, just having my GED in high school, I was like, all right, what am I gonna do My sister's a college graduate from a top school. My brother got a full ride, sports scholarship. So I was just like, what am I gonna do? So I was like, I guess I kind of have to do this. I did it, and that's when I found myself being the most lost. Like I think that was the reality of my adult, because I was 18. And
yeah,
when
you in a way you betrayed yourself.
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing?
Because you knew it wasn't for you.
Yeah, and then things started to unravel, and I feel like that was the lowest point of my life where I could have. I almost died.
Yeah, you did almost die.
So I was just kind of like, I think that was a level where I was like, nah, let's just not do this. Let's go back to being
who you are,
who I am, and chasing it.
And I did it for a lot longer than Carlos.
I luckily did, but I struck down. Like I literally went.
You literally almost died.
Yeah, I was just like, bro.
I feel like for me, it took like this like spiral of like.
But you know what? Hold on. The one thing that life does give you is like answers, and you have to be open to listen to them. Because, like, if I didn't go through all that, what I went through at that time, aside from almost dying, but like, if I didn't go to St. Mary's College, I feel like I wouldn't have met the people that I did. I wouldn't have gotten inspired by the people that I got inspired by to go to fashion school. I would have never seen it. I would have never seen it. I would have never even thought about it. Like, there was a small side of potential that happened there where I think that was like the hook that I needed, and it was very little to like, okay, catapult me to be like, this is what I have to do. And that's what happened. And even when I was doing that, I think after like that, I was still going downhill. But I just always remembered that. I was like, that's my anchor.
Well, when I look back at my life, again, because I think I've mentioned it before many times, but I love my life now. I love you. I love our family. I love our life. I love everything we're doing. Like, it's fucking awesome. And I think back, it's like everything had to happen the way that it did. It's amazing, like the way things are so connected. Like if I didn't go and do that door-to-door job when I was 18, I wouldn't have met so-and-so, I wouldn't have done this, it wouldn't have led me to get into this career that I was in for 10 years, it wouldn't have led me to this particular situation, and that particular situation led me to meet the girl that told me to fucking sign up on Bumble on this. It just was like the way that everything in life happens is fucking crazy, and like I really do believe that the universe gives you the things that you're ready for, and now it's like, you have this, I feel like I'm learning this and I have this way more, is like, when you get the rejection or you get the no, it is like, it's either not for you, you know, or you're not ready for it. And so like, now it's like, it is much easier to be like, no, and looking back, everything has always worked out for the better. Like, even when it didn't feel that way, and then I went through a really incredibly difficult time, like I had to get to like the lowest of the lowest of the low of like, I used to have like the worst social anxiety to the point where like I barely could leave my house.
Yeah.
Like I was just
You're a sad girl, huh?
No, but I mean, I had to get to that point.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Like, I mean, instead of you getting to that point, you just drank yourself almost to death. So, like, we all have our different ways of coping with these feelings. The feelings were probably the fucking same. Yeah. It's just, for me, mine manifested in anxiety to, like, not want to deal with the world because I was like, maybe so fragile that I was like, if anything comes at me right now, I know that I'll break. Like, or that's what I thought. So anyhow, we've all been at those lows and I just feel like, but I feel like that really was like during this period where I was just continuously betraying myself and didn't know it. I didn't know it then.
I just feel like it's hella crazy how I'm just thinking back of like how life does. It seems like it's already formulated for you. Because like if you think back, it always connects. Like the dots are always there, which is insane.
Well, hindsight's 20/20, so maybe it just seems that way because now you get to look back and you have the knowledge you have now that you didn't have back then. No, like in terms of like how you're like everything you have now has always been connected to like the decisions. Like, I don't know. I guess that makes sense, huh? Well, does that mean it's predetermined, or does that just mean that every choice you make is going to have a consequence down the road? So.
I don't know. Maybe was it predetermined? like like how I met Jordan, how I was just thinking about the hook, like the fashion school. Then that's how I met Jordan. Jordan had a YouTube channel. I was trying to do the same thing. Da 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 da. And then like it just all seems connected, even to like my sister, even to like my sister dating a guy who was friends with someone that I knew at St. Mary. So it's like, it's so weird, like how.
Well,
like,
there's something that we
it's
talked
like
about.
Everything just seems way too like.
I think there's something where they say that's called synchronicity, right? Where things start to. There's like these interesting connections or these interesting parallels, and when you can notice it, it means that you're going in the right direction. Like, you're seeing all of these different parallels, these different like ways that things are connecting, and you have the consciousness available to you right now to be able to perceive that. Imagine back in your life when you weren't able to see things like that.
Yeah.
Like now you have that, and now it's like, to me, now it's a very good guide. When I'm starting to see things like that, like these like little, it's like, oh, it's like to me, it's like a message from God or a message from the universe or whatever. Like, oh, you're on the right path. Like, keep going.
It's hard to change. Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah. Like. Anyway, yeah, I really do feel like that, and especially because like it's not like I haven't felt happy in my life before. Like there's obviously been really happy moments where I felt the same way. Like, oh, I had to do A, B, and C to get here. Mm. So I just think like, I don't know what the fuck I brought that up for, but I just saw that and I was like, oh, it reminded. And there are people out there that feel like that. Like they just feel like they don't fit in, or they feel alone in the way that they're thinking with their family, or maybe their parents.
Parents are proud of their siblings.
You know, like, I don't know. And I just feel like maybe this is just like a little message to those little folks that
if you feel like a black sheep, dude, it's a good sign.
It's like a good thing. It's like a good thing because, maybe eventually you will be the one that helps your family to break a cycle that they don't necessarily want to be in.
I think we all have a little bit of black sheep in us. I feel like that's what we just have to
harness that
energy and be like, yeah, dude, I'm going to do things for myself.
But it's like, one thing that this said specifically is you grew up without any example of the life you wanted or needed.
Yeah.
And I really that resonates with me so much. I mean, from like the earliest age, I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. This isn't my life. No, not an influencer.
No.
Like, ew. but I mean, like, I love my parents, but I had no example of the thing that like I did want or need, or that I felt was right for me. I had no guidance, no good example of those things. I knew that I wanted something different, but I had no roadmap, no example, nothing. And I was just like, I really felt alone in the sense of like, I don't know. I mean, from a young age, I wanted to have conversations like this. From a fucking little ass, I remember this one time, maybe I was like 5 or 6 or something, and I just remember going down this fucking rabbit hole of like the deepest like questions of life, and I had nobody to talk to about it, and I was just sitting with myself with it. It's when I think we all go through it, but I just don't know, maybe some kids are more sensitive to it than others or more aware of it, but like it's literally like when your consciousness comes alive in a way of like you realize that you are a person. I'm having thoughts. I am a person. I'm not just observing the world. I am in the world. I'm having thoughts. I'm doing like this existential crisis, and I'm having this, and I'm like, holy fuck, what does that mean? What am I? Who am I? I'm having these thoughts. I'm this person. What does that mean? Like, it was just, I was just like, holy shit. And I'm like, I couldn't talk to my parents about my dad. Like, he'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He'd be like, dude, we need to get her help.
I used to try to, I used to listen to like The Secret, Earl Nightingale.
Yeah.
I remember I would hear it all the time. And I remember like every time I tried to share with my mom and my dad, my mom would be like, I already know all this. I was like, bro, so why are we here?
Yeah,
she's just like, I already know. I know all this stuff. Why? It's like, this isn't new to me. I'm like, bro. I love that. Bro's like, bro, I know.
I mean, that's just like one example, right? It was like, I'm like, I wanted, I wanted to connect in a different way than I could connect with at the time with my family. I think now, like, I've seen like my parents go through these different like stages of growth too, and I feel like now I'm capable of having more of those types of things.
Yeah.
That's just one example, but I also was like an artist and a creative mind and like just so different. And one time my dad was literally like worried about like, do we need to get her fucking help?
Yeah.
Because I was just different.
I think parents don't know either, man. So if you feel different, go for it. Because I remember even my mom, and like I think she was more willing for me to allow me to go to like MMI, more psychomechanics institution, more than me being in the world of fashion. Because she understood like, oh, that could be a thing. So I feel like, and she didn't realize, you know. So she was like, okay, if you're not gonna go to school, go be a mechanic.
No, I think it's like not.
Which I was gonna go to MMI in Miami, so I was.
Oh, whew, good luck. Good thing you
That
did
would be
it.
great. I said there's an MMI in like Newark and Miami. I was like, I'm going to Miami, baby. Let's fucking go ride some choppers.
I don't mean to say any of it as like a place of judgment. It's not. Like it's not a place of one person's better or not. It's just more.
But if you do go to MMI, go to the one Miami.
Yeah, but it's just more of like, now, especially as an adult, even as a young person, I understood. I had a lot of compassion for my parents, even as young people. Mm-hmm. You know, my parents ended up getting divorced, and I didn't think of it as anything other than I'm having compassion for my parents. I didn't even consider how it affected me. I just said to myself, like, this is better for them. And I saw them become happier people, and I just had compassion for them as human beings, even as a young person. So like, no. It's not to say anybody's better or not, or they didn't do what they were supposed to do. It's just knowing that you wanted something different and not having the person to hold your hand through it. Yeah. You know, it's like, and to help you and to help guide you and to give you direction, like, you know, some people have that. For example, let's say you're in a line of doctors and you also want to become a doctor, and that's truly you, and it's not because you feel pressured to do that. I don't know. Like, you do feel like that's also your calling, and then you have 2 doctors to help you learn how to become a doctor. Like, great for you. But if you're the person in that line of doctors that wants to be, you know, a race car driver, you might find yourself feeling challenged in that family.
Like, it's like, oh, let's just make it all easier for everyone, you know?
Yeah.
By having assistance, knowledge on one thing, which is why schools are there, right? Schools are there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just necessarily knowledge, but it's having the support to help you to like.
So, is there any relationship questions?
I didn't even ask for relationship questions, to be honest with you, but I do have a relationship thing that I wanted to talk about too. Do you have anything? No. Okay. So
Excuse me eating dates, guys. I'm a little hungry. Sorry.
How do we segue into this? But I did see this, and I thought it would be really good to talk about, because we do get questions a lot about relationship stuff, and I think it comes back down to some of these things. So it's about unrealistic expectations in relationships. Okay?
Healthy.
So one unrealistic expectation is thinking that they will change for you because it means they love you. So I think this is like one of those things where it's like, are you in love with a person, or are you in love with the potential of a person? You know, because I think a lot of us, especially women, I think, get to be in love with the potential of somebody. Like, oh my God, I see that they're so smart. I see that they're so capable. I see that they're so handsome, but the person isn't doing anything to like, to live their potential. Yeah. And so they just keep staying with them because they're like, if I love them hard enough, they'll change for me. And that's unrealistic. No, you're not there. I think it's like really crucial for people to know that it's not your job to change anybody, and you in fact can't. Yeah. 2, thinking that they should just know what you need without having to say it. Yeah. Nobody, no matter how close you are with them, can read your mind. So don't think that they should just know. They shouldn't just know.
No, they can't just know
what you want or need, because I hear this a lot with women when it comes to like helping with their children and stuff. Is like, they know that their kids need blah, 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 so why do I have to ask or whatever. But I think it's not really so much about the thing that they know the kid needs. It's more that sometimes, like this is just an example of like, sometimes I think what happens is like because there's no communication, there's just observation, and the observation is this person does this thing and they seem fine doing it, so why do I need to get involved, right? Like I think it's just like observational and assumptions based, and the truth is that person, oftentimes the mother, right, because I'm hearing it from women, needs to say, I need your help with this, and not look at the guy like they're stupid for not knowing already. It's like, maybe you just took control and the person was just like, I guess they like to take control over this thing. I don't know. Like I think there's a lot of situations like that where it's like the woman doesn't want to have to ask for their needs to be met. But it's like, that's not fair. You got to be specific about what you want.
Be specific.
And then my thing is like, then you have a point if you have already asked, and maybe even more than once, and you were specific, and then the person still doesn't do anything, then it's like, okay, like that person's just not respecting you. Okay. Thinking that you have to love every single thing about each other.
That's true.
That's unrealistic. You're not gonna love every single thing about each other all of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just not. Right? Like, he fucking hates me half the time. No, I'm kidding. 4, thinking that the spark and the passion should be there without effort or intention.
Yeah,
That is something that I feel like a lot of you guys think is what, like, true love is. It's like you're just always gonna feel super passionate and like have this like amazing fiery spark all the time. Like, I think people think like that, again, the new relationship energy, like when you're just meeting somebody and you're kind of like obsessed with them and they're obsessed with you and you guys are just like, oh my God, that if it doesn't feel like that 24/7, for that something's wrong. And that's just not true.
Yeah.
That's you have to know that if you want to be in a long-term relationship, that you're going to be doing life together, and life isn't always going to feel like that with the person. Life changes, and you have a babies or not.
Different.
Like you're just like not always going to be in this like state of passion.
Yeah.
You kind of do have to make some room and space for that. Like
for evolution.
5, thinking that they will complete you and finally provide you the happiness you've patiently been waiting for. Exactly. Unrealistic. Be a happy person
Solo.
Solo. If you can be happy solo, then you will find somebody, I think, but if you're unhappy solo and you think finding the right relationship is going to make you happy, it's not.
That's true.
6, thinking that the right way to respond, react, or do things is the way you would do it. So this is something I think everybody deals with a little bit, is like, I don't know, like seeing your partner do something differently than you and the thought being like they're doing it wrong.
That's horrible.
Right? No,
Yeah.
I feel like we both have had that, moments of that, where we've had to check ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, because it's not like that. Like, and I think that's what makes it so beautiful. Like, if you imagine being with somebody who's exactly like you, how fucking terrible that would be.
Yeah,
Like, it'd either be chaotic all of the time, or it'd be boring as shit, or it would just be like you were learning nothing from that person at all. Like, you know what has to be the same? I think you have to have the same values.
I think so.
I think that really has to be the same. But as far as who you like guys are, like characteristics, personality, like even how you achieve the value that you guys have, like the way in which you go about it can be different, and you can learn from each other.
That's very, very true.
Do you have any comments on those? Sorry, that was probably boring, but I think they're important. And like this is honestly, okay. I have a question.
Da.
I think so much of like the reason people don't stay in relationships that are good. Like I saw this fucking thing. This is a question for you. I saw this thing about this girl. I don't know. you see so much of it because I think there's a lot of couple like pages and couple like accounts on YouTube and like on the other socials, and then like they've been together for like, you know, maybe a long period of time, and then people have been following their relationship, and then they end up breaking up. So then they have to like do these like emotional posts about it, and like they're like at the beach, like looking out into the ocean, and then
they
like
start like this. They all start like this. What's up, guys? We need to talk.
We need to talk about something. I've been kind of avoiding it for some time now, but you've noticed, and I have to address it. And this is really hard topic, you know. But Carlos and I have decided to go separate ways, and we really love each other, and our relationship was so perfect in every way. But like, no, but like, this is what the fucking girl did.
We were acting.
She goes,
you messed up our scene.
She goes.
You messed up our scene.
Whatever.
Because you. Come
No,
on.
I gotta get to this, okay? So she was
she
like,
messed up the scene, guys.
this is the fucking thing I'm talking about, so how do you even know what the scene was?
We were gonna go. We were gonna just play it out.
No, but they talk about how great their relationship was and how much they love each other and have respect for each other and
So why did they break up?
Exactly. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Maybe they didn't see. I mean, maybe they were, but they just weren't compatible in other ways. I don't know what's wrong with that.
Okay, but the way this girl put it was that
Everything was
everything was great. It was one of the most beautiful, passionate,
How long were you
like
together
blah blah
for?
blah. I don't know, I don't know, fucking like a long time, like maybe 10 years or something.
Damn.
Yeah, and like I don't know, but the way she described it was like this was such a beautiful. But at the end, she said we were like growing into different. Like going different directions or something, and we just knew we had to end it. But I'm just like, dude.
What's the problem here? I don't get it.
I guess I just am like, fine, if that's what they had to do. But I think so many times I hear people, it's like the minute that something isn't that perfect situation, the answer is, well, let's just leave.
Maybe he started to like blondes.
Bro, my point being is I think a lot of times people just decide they have to like end the thing because it's not perfect.
Yeah.
In that moment, like as if like, I don't know their story, but I just seen a lot of this stuff where it's like, I just knew I had to leave even though it was perfect. I'm like, why? Like, if it was, then at least be honest that it wasn't perfect.
Yeah,
like,
if it was perfect,
do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
if it was perfect, why did you leave the relationship? Like, it obviously wasn't perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, I didn't see the video, but that's interesting. She said it was perfect.
But even if it's not perfect, like.
Maybe she wants to do. Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I guess the problem is if you don't have somebody who's willing to support you through whatever fucking journey you're going on in that moment, I guess. Like, if they're really, like, closed-minded, like, I think about some relationships that I know of, and I feel like certain people do get held back by their relationship because, you know, their partner's not really open-minded. But then, okay, I guess I get that.
Yeah.
That sucks. I mean, if you're with someone who's not willing to, like, help you along the journey that you feel like you need to go on, or, like, be supportive, or vice versa, like, you can't get on board with something they really feel like they need to do,
Yeah.
then I guess so. But
yeah, I didn't see the video. Should bring it up. Just kidding.
I should have saved it, but
We need an assistant. Hey, Tommy, bring it up.
I know.
Whiskey's useless.
Whiskey's useless. Whiskey. What's up, man?
Yeah, but, you know, at the end of the day, guys.
I guess, like, not everything needs to last forever, but he gets really scared when you say forever, the word.
I just feel like forever.
But
I don't know the word forever. One, it could be overwhelming for nothing.
yeah.
And then two, you could get comfortable knowing that something is forever.
Oh, and not try anymore?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like you could just be like, oh, well, I don't care. So let's say she's mine forever, or you know, it's mine forever. You could just be like, you take things for granted. So that word, and yeah, and it's overwhelming too, because if you think forever, like, oh, I'm gonna be sitting on this couch forever, you're like, God damn, like, okay, 30 years from now, it's still, you know. So you just kind of, there's both ways. I feel like it's always like keep the fuel going, you know.
I guess like I just get like discouraged sometimes by like the way people are so willing to just
say forever.
to
I just felt like.
no, that too. I mean, I think where it's just like so willing to not.
Did you hear about that theory that
What
happy
theory?
birthday is a spell? That's why it's 3 times and to make you blow out a candle.
What's the spell for to have a happy birthday?
No, it's to age.
To
so you
age?
start aging.
That's so stupid. Why would that be a fucking spell to make you age? Like as if you're not gonna age anyway.
Apparently, aging isn't a thing.
Like we're crocodiles?
Yeah, like some people say.
Right, isn't it like crocodiles
Yeah.
that don't actually biologically age? They like can live forever if
There's
it's
this guy on
not.
TikTok who always starts. That's his videos. Did you hear about that theory that Santa Claus actually did exist at one point? And it was like, oh really? Tell me more. Did you hear about that theory that dogs actually are humans?
They just evolved to have more hair and be fluffy and be.
Yeah, shouts out to that guy. He always makes me cringe.
Oh my god.
He always makes me happy. But nah, dude. So yeah, relationships are crazy, dude.
Relationships are crazy too.
Um,
No, I think sometimes I just get discouraged by the fact that like it seems like a lot of people they really don't believe in any like long lasting love. And I don't know, like maybe I'm romanticizing it, but like I love the idea of loving somebody or or somebody being really meant for you, you know, like and that withstanding like the worldly pressures or the worldly bullshit that we put ourselves through. Like maybe it's just like I'm romanticizing things, but I do feel like people, the minute something doesn't serve them 100%, it's like the answer is just to leave. And the point of that is like silly because you're just going to be in the same situation over and over again.
Yeah.
Because inevitably there's nobody that's going to satisfy every need all of the time for the rest of your life. Like, so you're just going to keep going from relationship to relationship and like,
yeah, sure.
and maybe that is fine. I don't know. But like, I do think that like, it's sweet to think about people that can withstand, like still love each other. Yeah. Like still love each other or really like, I don't know. I'm probably just romanticizing it.
No, I think that's cool. I think that that's cool as well. I just think, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah. I guess girls will be girls, huh? But I feel like, yeah, if you feel like you're having a hard time in your relationship, then just, don't break it off.
No, because there are like abusive situations or things that aren't right. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the real thing is that it is very difficult to find somebody who you have a good connection with, but who is also flexible enough to grow with you or to like accept that things will not always be the same.
Yeah.
Because I think that is just hard. It is really hard to find, and I think that's why when we hear about relationships that were actually happy, that lasted a long time, it hits us in our fucking like
core,
our core, our heart, because it's like that is so fucking rare. That is so rare to find that.
Well, I think nowadays we have more access to what we wish we had, not wish we had, but I think
we think we have a lot of options.
we think we have a lot of options. I think now, and it's just like an unrealistic thing that is very unhealthy. And I feel like back in the day, the husband went to war, he came back, you were waiting for him. I feel like now girls be like, I'm on Bumble as soon as he leaves, so it's like, I think life has changed like that in that way where I think it's very, it's the same way
instant
we consume.
satisfaction.
Yeah, it's like you want everything when you want it.
Yeah, and I just want to make it clear because like I've obviously been in relationships way longer than I should have been in the past that were not good relationships, and maybe it's because I have that romantic idea, but now I feel like I have the tools to know when something truly isn't right for me and isn't serving me and it's unhealthy for me. Because if it's toxic or unhealthy in some way, then obviously you got to leave that situation because you will find somebody. I don't know, I guess for me, like, my relationship with you changed so much in the way I view it because I was super cynical before. Like, I didn't believe in long-lasting relationships before. I was like, they're bullshit. They're just people that got complacent and they're not happy, but they don't love themselves enough to be happy. So they just stay. I really was super cynical. When we first met, I was like, I don't even think I want to have kids because I was so cynical about life and like I was cynical about everything, and I feel like
Oh yeah, I remember I was like, this girl's not for me. You said that.
yeah, because I was like I'm not sure if I want to have kids. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I just thought about the weight of it, like the responsibility of it, and that
I remember
don't
she got
think-
mad at me because you were saying you were like, that's a very narcissist to think that you want to have your own kids. You're like, why don't you go adopt?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what the hell?
I didn't get mad at you. Weird. This
No,
was
but
the
you were
first
saying-
time we met. Don't make it seem like I was arguing with you.
No, you were arguing, but you were saying, that's very narcissist of people. And I was like,
I was saying,
what?
I said that I've been having these thoughts of like, I've been thinking about it.
I was
You
like,
know,
this girl
I've been.
crazy.
No, but like, I mean, maybe I was, but I was thinking about, you know, these different things that I think we feel like, why do we feel like we need to continue to do that? What is it? Like, what biologically is that? Is that the responsible thing to do? Like, I was just saying, but I also was in this cynical mindset. I didn't want to have a relationship. I didn't meet him being like, I want to go find a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I was just like, I want to have experiences. I want to have a little bit of fun. I was never going to be the type of person to just go to a bar and have a hookup. So I still needed to have some connection. So I was like, let me just have like some experience. Let me meet people. Let me see. I was never being like, at that moment in my life, I wasn't like, I want to find a husband.
Yeah.
Like, I need a husband. I was just like loving my life. And then, you know, but I was cynical about relationships for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm always over here being sappy about you. People think you don't love me
What do you mean?
because you're never sappy with me on here.
Yes, I am.
Just
What? Jesus Christ.
No, but I do feel like my relationship
I'm
with
here,
Carlos.
ain't I? Just kidding. George Lopez, I'm here, ain't I?
I do feel like my relationship with Carlos did change the way I viewed it. Like I viewed relationships and I viewed like I don't know, like the type of connection you can have with somebody.
Yeah.
Or like there's the type of relationship you can have.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't settle.
It does.
Don't settle. But if you're the girl on Instagram saying your relationship was perfect, but you just knew you had to end it, it's like shut the fuck up. Your relationship wasn't perfect then. Like,
Oh my gosh.
they're just so.
I'm
It's
about to
just
fight.
so annoying.
We're gonna try to do a YouTube boxing season to get into it. So if the girl wants to fight for money, let's do it.
It's so annoying. I
You
hate
do
those
YouTube
accounts.
boxing.
But I hate.
Guys, we want to.
but I will just tell you,
boxing.
I hate most relationship accounts.
wanna
They're
do
annoying.
YouTube boxing.
They're annoying.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
They're really annoying, and I'm sure we're our own brand of annoying. But you know what?
We are, dude. I want to do
Whatever.
YouTube boxing so bad.
You want to box someone?
Yeah, like getting into YouTube boxing.
Oh, well, because you want to make that money, honey.
Yeah, that'd be so fun, dude. I would love that for real. I was like, damn, it's hella popular now. But I'm like, we need to get a large guys. Let's get a large following. Please make
Who
this happen
would
for
you
me. I
fight?
would box.
Who would you fight?
I don't care.
You know the YouTube boxers. Who would you fight? Who would you choose? Who
I'll
would be-
fight Austin McBroom. He's my height.
Ew!
What? He's my height. He's probably my weight. I don't know. Is he 5'11"? I don't know. He might be 6 feet. I'll fight him, obviously. Who else will I fight? That's tall. All these guys are short. That's why they're all tiny little boxers. They come.
Isn't the Paul brothers tall?
Oh yeah, dude, Logan Paul. I think I'll fight Logan Paul. He's whack, dude. He's not a good boxer. Jake
he's
is
boxed,
good.
like he's boxed fighters though. So
Yeah, but
I'm
he's
like,
not. He's not. He's
Can
lost.
you? But didn't he just? Who
No,
just
he
fought
fought.
Mayweather?
You're talking about Jake Paul. Jake
Who-
Paul's a good fighter.
I said the Paul brothers. So.
Yeah, Logan Paul is not a good boxer.
Oh.
That dude is horrible.
Okay. Well,
I just was boxing for a lot.
but
like,
I'm
for a
just
long
saying
time,
the
but I would-
balls that you have to fight Mayweather, right? He fought Mayweather, right?
Yeah, it was an exhibition. He was like, "Relax, bro. It's just an exhibition." Like he knew.
What does the exhibition mean?
It's not. It's a fight. It's for show. It's not like an actual boxing.
But you're still in the ring with Mayweather.
Yeah, but you're not. Mayweather's not hurting. There's like a 10%. There's like a. The exhibition is just more of like he wasn't going full force. It's like a sparring session. So you technically sparred.
I would
Mayweather.
still be fucking scared.
No, obviously,
to
like
fight Mayweather.
Deji was exhibition. So Mayweather wasn't. I don't even think Mayweather could knock anyone out in the first round, especially a YouTube guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
But he wasn't allowed to. So it's like you have to spar.
Oh, so you have to.
It's
You're
exhibition
not
match.
allowed
It's
to
not
do
a real
knockout.
like. Yeah, you're not gonna
Oh.
like lay someone out.
I would still be scared. You'd be scared to
because
just
you
like
gotta
be.
think about. But you gotta think about the reason why they do exhibitions because imagine if Logan Paul gets hit in the temple and he becomes Yeah, so you're just gonna be like,
Please.
yeah, or like even like what's this, Deji. So it has to be smart on both sides, you know. Like, all right, I know you could potentially
kill me,
so just let's take it easy. But no, the YouTube boxing, I would love to do that, dude. I remember I called KSI out when he first did it. I was like, come on, dude, I want to do it.
He didn't even notice you.
No, hell no. But that was the first.
I would just like to put, on record that I am very against this idea. The last thing I want is for you to become a fighter. Are you kidding me?
It's fun though, dude. It's fun. I have enough time.
Perspicacity?
Yeah.
You have enough perspicacity to become
especially if I find a gym here that I could train every day.
I know.
That'd be a good thing.
Oh, let's not get him into that, guys. Because he's a father. He's a father, and
we would do it. I have a strong
he's
jaw.
A faux
I've
husband.
Never been knocked out
he's
in my
a
life.
faux husband. I love you too much. Do you know I spend like at least 50% of my time worried about losing you? Does it get annoying to be loved so much?
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I gotta stop saying I'm just kidding. Fuck, man. But this episode it's too early, dude.
I love you guys. Bye.
What do you guys think about this episode? I was low energy. I feel like,
yeah.
Maybe we should just start it over.
You didn't like it?
I don't know. I just feel like it's too early, dude. I need something. I need I need more coffee.
It was good. Wasn't it? I think
We talked about rejection, influencing, and for a couple
Black sheep, and then unrealistic expectations. Wait, what else do you want? It's a fucking podcast, dude. What?
Yeah, but let us know, guys, if this was kind of like a mix between everything else, everything we've been doing. Last time we were talking directly to each other. This time we were talking to the camera.
No, this time we were still talking to each other.
If you guys don't like this one, we'll do it over next week. So
we'll just keep doing them over and over.
Yeah.
And over.
Subscribe, hit the notification bell button. Just kind of comment, dude. Even if it's just like a eggplant emoji, just drop it. It helps us get.
Yeah, please, guys.
Subscribe,
Come
it's
on.
free. If you guys want to check us out, Bike Calls Roberto, Twice the Moon on Instagram, you can. And we're very active on there every single day. I have a video going viral right now. It's almost at 1 million. And Whiskey has her butt face
Whiskey?
towards us.
Come here, let's say goodbye to the camera. Come on. Let's say goodbye.
Subscribe if you like dogs.